Hey, welcome back, my friend. My name is Danny Dumas, and this is the Earn Your Title podcast. If I told you the number 4,000, does 4,000 mean anything to you? Does it have any special meaning? Is there a number that kicks into your head? Well, if you're an average American, that's the amount of weeks you'll live. That goes out to 76 years, which, you know, as I get older, I realize that number feels like it's coming faster and faster. And knowing that there's a finite number, it really, it changes the way you look at life. And I guess when you're younger, you know, if you're a 20-year-old listening to this, maybe this doesn't make sense to you. But as I got older, I realized that time was passing, and I wanted to do something to maybe slowed it down a little bit and gave me the ability to appreciate that. So I actually bought this. This is airsoft pellets. There's 2,700. I got one right here. They're really tiny. I don't know if you can see that if you're watching this online. 2,700. That equals about 50 years. And I bought that with the intention that every week I would take one of these airsoft pellets and I would stick it next to my nightstand on a Sunday. And then when the next Sunday came up, I would look at it. And if I felt like I had given my life a good week, like I had accomplished things and I was, you know, successful and thoughtful, and that I would keep that and I'd put it into another container. If I had wasted it, if I'd spent most of my time online, if I really hadn't done anything, I would throw it away. And I did this for probably a year or so. And then eventually I wasn't really reflecting anymore. So I stopped the practice. But the idea that things are finite really stuck with me. And it got me to read a book, and we're going to talk about it. It's the 4,000 Weeks, Time Management for Mere Mortals. And this was written by Oliver Burkeman. And it says time management, and that's really a misnomer. Like you can't necessarily manage time. What you do is you manage your life. And so I'm going to go over a couple of things that I learned in the book, or that they emphasize in the book, and I think it will help you because life is finite, and that's okay. You know, and you can't. The big thing is that you can't really get more productive, right? You can only have 24 hours. And that's your production. You know, like you can get more done in the day, but the important part is what are you doing? So one of the traps is that we try to capture all the time, and we do this through systems, becoming productive. And if you're a successful person, being productive is important. You know, getting into work, getting more done than your competitors, you know, just knocking things out of the park. You have this to-do list. You come up with lots of apps, and I like the idea. Like I like the idea of a fresh notebook, you know, where I'm going to do a to-do list. I'm going to time block. I'm going to habit track. And I've done all those things, and it has been helpful. I'm not telling you not to, but ultimately when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, if you do more things and you get more things done, you'll just fill the day with other things. So it has to come with a mindset shift, you know, that you're shifting from being productive to living. Where, you know, when you're productive, you're always looking for the next thing. Like, well, when I get this done, I'll be able to do this. When I get this done, what if you just do this? You know, with my son graduating, I see in him, and he actually does this better than I do, but he's talking about his friends and what they're going to do next year. And most of them are just, you know, counting their time to try to get through high school so that they can, you know, finally start living when they get in college. Well, if you're like me, you know that when you got in college, you're trying to get, you know, just 4 more years that I can get a job. And then you get a job, and you're like, well, man, once I get out of this starter level job, I can go get a career. And then once you get a career, like once I get this career, I can work hard enough that I can quit working. And you're always looking for the next thing. You're not happy where you're at. And I've definitely fallen into this trap where like, oh, as soon as I get promoted, then I can go to this station. Well, once I get off the rescue, then I can go ride an engine every day. Once I ride an engine, maybe I can be in command. And like, I know if you continue to do that, you'll never be happy because you're always looking for the next best thing. I had a really awesome experience a couple of weeks ago. Here in Michigan, it's been super cold. We had an ice storm. So it rained, and then it got cold, and the ice formed on the trees, and just trees fell down everywhere, and it knocked our power out. And we contacted our power company, and they said, it's going to be about 4 hours. Well, the good thing is we had planned to go to my brother and sister-in-law's house and have dinner. So no big deal. We don't need power. We're going to be gone. It's going to be back in 4 hours. So we leave. And before we come home, we check, and it said it's going to be 8 hours. So four more hours. So we decided to let our kids stay at my brother-in-law's house. Obviously they want to have internet and heat. And we came home, me and my wife, no power. Well, I have a wood burning stove, so I lit the fire, got it going. And where I live, I'm kind of rural, and if I don't have internet, I really have poor cell signal. Like it could probably call 911, but you're not having FaceTime audio or FaceTime video. It's not awesome. So my wife just sat in the dark. I have a generator. I could have powered with a generator and turned all the lights on, but we just sat together, watched the fireplace. And that was really awesome. I did feel like this guiltiness of like, oh, I should be getting something done. I should do something. But just hanging out with my wife was a great moment. And I feel like in life, when we're always trying to go the next step, when we're always trying to be productive, we're just getting more work. We're not settling down with what is right and what is good. And I'm encouraging you to do that. Like, find a moment, find your power outage moment and just do something for the sense of doing something. One of the, I think it's kind of a newer word. Like, my day would be carpe diem, seize the day, but now it's FOMO, right? It's the fear of missing out. People have FOMO. It's the newest piece of technology. If I don't get it, I'm not experiencing what the new iPhone's going to do. I'm not going to do this. And in the book, they talk about you need JOMO, which I had never heard. It's the joy of missing out. It's flipping the script of make a decision. And when you make that decision, you are sacrificing everything else. It's why I had another podcast I talked about when you're younger, you should say yes to everything. You want to join this club? Yes. You want to go on this trip? Yes. But as you get older and more responsibility, you need to start saying no, because a yes is a no to everything else. So by saying no, you can kind of guide yourself to getting into the place where you really want to be. But the joy of missing out is putting it like, I'm going to pick my wife and I'm going to miss out on every other woman on this planet. And I think that statement messes up a lot of guys because now they have FOMO. They have this, what if she starts to annoy me? What if she's not always as pretty as she is? What if she gains weight? You have all these things and you have fear that there's another woman out there that who wouldn't gain weight or who would be nice to you every single day, all day. And you start fearing that. But what if you flipped it and said, you know what? I'm missing out on every other woman. And because I'm doing that, the sacrifice of missing out on all the other opportunities to be with somebody else makes this relationship so special because I'm truly investing into it because this is my only option. Like, I think that's one of our problems in the world right now, at least on the marriage side, is divorce is definitely a real option. And I think some people go into marriage knowing that, if this doesn't work out, I'll just get divorced. Like, I work with guys that they don't combine their finances with their wife because they say, well, if it doesn't work out, it'll just be easier to separate. And in my head, I'm like, dude, you're playing to lose. You're not playing to win. And I think that's what we're failing. If you are actively planning on how you would escape your marriage, it's probably already done. You would switch that up, man. I'm sacrificing everything. I'm latching, our boats are tied together, right? We're in the same boat. If I drill a hole on my side of the boat is sinking, right? There's no one side of the boat has a hole in it. If the boat has a hole in it, the boat is sinking and you and your wife are going down with the ship. I think that mentality is what we need to just, I'm going to miss out on everything. And that's joyful because I'm choosing to do that. I'm sacrificing that. Another, I think it's a pretty cool topic, is strategic procrastination. Now, usually procrastination gets a bad rap, but in reality, we're doing something and we're procrastinating on doing everything else. There's nothing else that we're going to do because we're doing this one thing. I think we want to be productive, right? We want to be seen as like, you're a good person that produces for your family. You do all these things. And then sometimes things like, I'm going to learn how to carve duck decoys for duck hunting out of wood. And that doesn't seem productive because you're procrastinating on doing your taxes. You're procrastinating on, updating your resume or your LinkedIn profile. And it's okay. There are times where it's okay to just do something because you love doing it. Do something not because it's a side hustle, not because it's anything other than You really enjoy making model trains. You really enjoy putting Legos together. You really enjoy, perfecting your chip shot. Procrastinate on everything else, but be strategic about it, right? Decide that, hey, my time is worth it, because you can't manage your time. You can only manage your life. The time keeps going. There's nothing we can do to stop it. So why not go somewhere we want to go? Why not be strategic in deciding, hey, this is the place I want to go. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to be okay with, and not even wasting, but just using my time for something that I enjoy, that is not productive, that is not going to make the world a better place. I'm going to make a coffee table, and I'm going to put my cup of coffee in the morning, and I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to, that's okay. It's okay to just use time for things that make you happy. That's okay. So as I close this podcast, I'm going to challenge you. Do something this week that just makes you a human. Go for a walk, talk to your friends, work on something that matters to you, that you didn't waste your time. You lived it. You lived that time. You don't have to wait until you're all caught up on life. You don't have to wait till you get the next promotion. You don't have to wait till you make more money. You don't have to wait till you retire. Just do something today that makes you feel alive. That is what managing your time is. It's managing your life. It's doing things on purpose, something that makes you happy, something that makes you feel good, something that's good for your family. It's okay. Go spend up your 4,000 weeks doing what you love with the people you love. Thank you for spending a short slice of your 4,000 weeks. My name is Danny Dumas, and this is the Earn Your Title Podcast, and I will talk to you later. Bye.